Hello. How's everybody doing? I am doing pretty all right. I'm ready to make some more Legos. This is what we're working on. We're going to have 2/3 of the car by the end of the day, hopefully.
Oh, also, I am here.
One Secret Crush is over here.
I cleared my throat, and then I heard myself clear my throat on your stream, and I was like, oh, maybe I should say hi too.
I typed it wrong.
Oh, how could you?
There we go.
Thank you.
I'm used to my iPad knows how to autocorrect me. So anyways, yes, that is Unsecret Crush over there. My wife. And yes. Speaking of which, hey Nina, thanks for that follow. Appreciate it. Next Tuesday, Unsecret Crush and I will be streaming together. We're going to start playing this older FMV horror game called Phantasmagoria. It's a game by Roberta Williams, released by Sierra. And neither of us have ever played it. And hopefully it'll be a good time. Silver, thanks for that follow. Sorry about the little delay there. Should be able to chat in 10 minutes if you wish to do so. Just try to keep things in line. Where was I?
Phantasmagoria at 9 p.m.? Or were you done with that already?
Yes. It's our stream's titled Midnight Phantasmagoria at 9 p.m. Eastern. This is a Genshin Impact joke that you'll just have to tune in Tuesday to understand.
I mean, is there anything to understand?
Well, I mean, I'll explain it for people that haven't played Genshin Impact.
Okay.
What else was I going to say?
I don't know.
I guess we'll get started. Oh yeah, I was going to give a shout out to...
Yeah, we both need to try to remember to give shout outs when appropriate. I feel like we have been... I have been dropping the ball on my own streams anyway.
Silver Streak also has been playing mystery games with OK Retro Zone. Friday evenings, last night they started playing Snatcher, which was a very interesting time. It's got some really great pixel art and a lot of good things, but also some less good things, but you know, it's an interesting time. And then Nina Marie has been playing Fatal Frame 2 and Breath of the Wild on Monday through Wednesday, which has been very fun to watch. I love that game, and watching someone else play it is really great because it kind of gives the experience of playing it for the first time, which, you know, obviously I can't actually do that again. So it's just interesting to see, you know, how someone else plays the game and the choices they make and stuff. So, here's a little car so far. It's not a lot to look at, but it does have a cool engine. And we got stick shift and emergency brake sticking up. And got some rear fenders starting to come together. Also, apparently, my go live notification and tweets were were supposed to be a dumb joke that only like 2 people would get, but apparently the number is actually closer to 0.
I think if you had like made an oblique reference to a fictional master thief or something, I might have picked up on it a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. The car is the same car that Lupin the Third drives. Of anime fame, you may have heard of Castle of Cagliostro, Miyazaki film, or he's got plenty of other things he's been in. And he drives the Fiat 500, and it's yellow. And when I saw this set, I thought maybe there was plans to make it an official Lupin the Third set, and like they couldn't secure the license or whatever, but decided to do it anyway. And then the manual explains why it's yellow, and there's no explanation at all. It's basically like there's no official like famous color for the Fiat 500, and we thought the yellow looked cool.
I'll drop a link to...
It was very weird and hand wavy, and it just gave the vibes of, it's yellow because it's cool, please stop asking.
I dropped a link to a still from Castle of Cagliostro.
Ah, yes, thank you. Perfect. That is an excellent still.
Apparently the voice actor for Jigen has finally retired at the age of 88.
Oh, wow.
So that character will have to be recast for the next anime series.
Interesting. Speaking of that photo, they give us a bunch of different license plate numbers to choose from. At least I think that's what's going on here with these stickers. But sadly, no Lupin option.
I bet we could make our own.
Yeah, maybe. I guess I've got some... I mean, they're just black and white for the most part. And I've got... One of them's got a little green dot on it. But I do have some sticker paper. And we have a laser printer.
We do.
So we can make that happen. So, we are at... Here's what we got. Here's what we got left. I think we're going to do... This is a big bag, but I think it's a little deceiving because there's lots of big parts in it, like all the wheels and tires and stuff. So that'll probably all be next week. And then this week, we're going to try to get through section 2. And there's our cloth sunroof. I'm not sure if we'll get to that this week or not. Anyways, oh, here's a little drawing of where we'll end up at the end of section 2. So I guess we won't get to that sunroof today, but we will have most of a car. Also, I was going to mention, we had some audio troubles last week, and I finally spent some time to investigate that yesterday, and it turns out all this time I've got iPhone set up here as my overhead camera, so that's our Lego view, and I thought when I set things up I had set up the iPhone mic to be the main microphone, and I didn't originally do that on purpose. It just kind of happened, and it seemed like it sounded pretty good, and it made sense because the mic's right there. And then recently I started messing around with some setup for our Phantasmagoria streams, and I accidentally switched some things around, tried to switch them back, and put that back on the iPhone mic because, that's what I've been using. Didn't see any reason to change it up because it's been mostly fine. Turns out I was not using the iPhone mic this whole time. I was actually using my computer's microphone. And I guess that picks things up a lot better than the iPhone mic. So last week the audio was extremely quiet. It was a little better quality, but it was very quiet.
So you got back to the computer microphone now?
No, I did some tests. I tested the iPhone mic, I tested the computer mic, and I tested this Blue Yeti podcast microphone over here, and you'll never guess which one sounded the best.
The podcast microphone?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what we're using. Plus, it should also pick up you a little better, I think.
Okay.
I haven't been paying attention to the levels, but...
I'm curious how much it picks up, like, say I were to go into the kitchen and open and close a cabinet, because apparently your computer microphone picked that up like it was happening in the same damn room. Yeah.
That's a lot of Legos. It looked like a lot less before I opened it all up.
How many bags was that?
That's all of section 2.
Okay.
So there's 3 bags in each section. Yeah. And these are all quite small. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. So hope everybody's doing good. Is that a rear windshield, I guess? Seems likely. I've had pretty decent week. Started off kind of stressful because there's an Apple event next week, and as an app developer, that's always a very exciting time for me. Because Apple likes to announce new products, and then they're like, "Okay, developers, here's everything you need to build apps for our new phone we just announced and we're going to release next week." I mean, it's not quite as bad as that sounds, but there's always new things that they didn't tell developers about in advance, and so, obviously you don't have to support everything immediately, but it is extremely beneficial to do so. I'm trying to find, need 4 of these. There's one more. So anyways, I'm real behind this year, and hey, Valis, good to see you. Fiat building is going pretty good. We pretty much just got started. I have not even finished the first step of this section. But should be making a lot of progress today. That's what we should have by the end of the day, as long as we get through this whole section, which I think we oughta. I think it's a similar amount of stuff compared to last week. Anyway, so yeah, the week started off a little stressful just because I'm behind on work, but made a lot of progress and I'm feeling better, and you know what? It'll all work out fine. Sometimes I stress about things that I don't need to be stressed out about. That's just life, I guess. It's 6 of these. Found 4. Always start out really hard. Like they give you 3 bags, and like the pieces I'm looking for could have been in any one of those bags, so that's why I opened all of the number 2 bags at once. And with all these tiny pieces, it's a lot to dig through. Just one more. So how's your Saturday going, Valis? Hope it's good. Also, I was explaining before you got here that I investigated the sound problems we had last week, and should be much better now. Turns out the mic I was using last week was not the one I thought I was using all along. And now we have an even better mic that should be much clearer overall and pick everything up better. D&D talk. Sounds nice.
Have you ever played D&D?
I have. I've played a little bit of D&D a long time ago. I think with my brother. The problem I had as a kid with an interest in such things is that I didn't have friends. I was not good at making friends, much less, asking them awkward things like, hey, you want to play D&D or whatever. So I have memories of playing a campaign that was designed for just, a couple of people. I think it was a kind of thing where like there's like a book that gives you everything, so you don't really need a DM. I finally found it. Hey Silver, yeah, I remember you following before, so I believe you. I don't know what happened. I didn't do anything.
I find it very easy to accidentally turn off notifications, like when I'm watching on mobile.
Yeah, I have definitely tapped buttons accidentally. I've accidentally unfollowed people on mobile because, like, you just accidentally brush the screen, like, for whatever reason, and whoops, you hit a button. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm expecting with Phantasmagoria.
I'm curious if that one little scene that we watched a YouTube clip of is like as bad as it will get.
That's my understanding.
For certain types of content.
Holly is referring to. I was trying to put together a list of content warnings just to give people a heads up. Tried to Google things and avoid spoilers as much as possible. The ESRB warning is kind of vague, mentions that there's like gore and strong sexual content. And then I saw a lot of people talking about how there is, as far as I understand, just one scene with sexual assault. So we watched that in advance just to kind of understand what to be prepared for. I don't think there is any other at least that bad. There's one scene that's super that's good to know that that's the only scene, so that we'll give people a heads up. We know it's at the beginning of chapter 4.
Yeah, I'm still curious what the gore is going to be like.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect from like the gore stuff. It sounds like it is indeed pretty gory, but also like the visual style is pretty dated at this point and a little on the cheesy and low resolution side. So yeah, I hear ya. I am definitely a big Roberta Williams fan. Actually, I think I might play some other older Roberta Williams games after that one. Mostly, like, we're starting with that one. Like, I wanted to play some old, like, adventure point-and-click type games, and, like, that one, there's a line in Genshin Impact where a character says Midnight Phantasmagoria, so I kept...
Phantasmagoria!
Yes, thank you. So I kept thinking about that game in particular, and I never had a chance to play it because it was Windows only, and I only had a Mac at the time. I am making zero progress on these Legos. Maybe I'll do Legos while I chat. So yeah, I've been thinking about that one a lot, and Halloween coming up, so appropriate theme and everything. So I figured we'd start with that one, and should be a time. I'm looking forward to it. Been thinking about going through the entire Quest for Glory series again. No idea if on stream or not. That'd be cool. I would definitely tune in for some of that. I never played any of the... I'm trying to remember. I don't think I ever played any of the Quest for Glory games. There's definitely some that I strongly considered getting, or at least really wanted. It's kind of hard to remember at this point what games I didn't play because they didn't come out for Mac, because I just couldn't afford it, etc. I think my first Sierra game was Space Quest 2. So I played pretty much all the Space Quest and King's Quest games. My first King's Quest was 3, I believe. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat here.
Spoiler, I'm talking about Genshin, surprise, surprise.
Not official fan, eh?
She does talk a lot.
Yeah, she's very chatty and dramatic.
I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication.
Silver says, if you're going to do like King's Quest, there are some fantastic fan-made remakes of the first 3. Check out AGD Interactive, the group that did the remakes, if you've never played them. That's interesting. I might have to... my thought was that I would probably focus mostly on games that I haven't played. I was thinking about The Colonel's Bequest. That's one that is interesting to me. I'm confused by, so you mean King's Quest 7? Oh, yeah, I played 7, I played 8. I was a beta tester on King's Quest 8 Mask of Eternity, which was very exciting and
I feel like I remember talking
weird
about that
time.
Before. Like, I don't know in what context. It wouldn't have been on our streams because we weren't streaming then, but maybe just in Discord chat or something?
Yeah, Silver, I remember you mentioning that you beta tested 8 also, which is fantastic. Okay, I finally managed to get through the first step and build these 2. I'm probably building everything off camera here because I'm too busy chatting about video games, but that's okay. I'm excited to do some video game streams. I was a while back I watched through the credits of the game on YouTube of Mask of Eternity because I honestly couldn't remember. Like I ended up as a beta tester because I was a regular on a Sierra forum. I want to say it was a King's Quest specific forum, but I'm not positive on that. And they came there looking for some beta testers, so a bunch of people on the forums there got to test it, and they he would just mail us new copies of the game occasionally, and we'd fill out some feedback and stuff. And I honestly couldn't remember if I was actually in the credits or not. So I rewatched the credits on YouTube, and sure enough, my name is in there. So that was exciting to see. And I also noticed that Jeff Keighley of video game event fame was also a beta tester on that game. It was kind of fascinating to see. I think he did it in a more official capacity from what I could tell.
As a job and not as a internet forum user.
Right, right. I keep missing chat. Sierra Lego set would be amazing. Holly said, I think my first King's Quest game was 4, The Perils of Rosella. Purchased at Sam's Club because it had a unicorn and a princess in the box. Yes. This game's had some good box art.
I just looked it up. Like I remembered vaguely that there was a unicorn involved, but now I just looked up an actual picture of the box art, and like, hell yeah, that slaps. I have to make it bigger. Be bigger. No.
You should post that in chat.
I can't zoom in on it, unfortunately.
Silver said, that's rad. I couldn't get my biological mother's permission to be credited. I still really like what they were trying with 8, but I understand why it isn't for everyone. Yeah, honestly, it's a shame that Sierra didn't get to spend more time figuring out how to handle that transition to 3D games. Like, I feel like 3D games were, still pretty new, and like trying to do that same type of game in 3D was, I imagine, extremely difficult. And like, obviously you can't do the same thing. And I think they had an interesting approach to trying to capture the feel, and I would have liked to see them spend more time sort of evolving their approach to that. Dang, that is a really great cover.
Isn't it?
It's too bad this image is so low resolution. Yeah, same thing somewhat happened with Quest for Glory 5. They were originally making it to be this big multiplayer experience, but the transition was too difficult, so the multiplayer got cut. Okay. Maybe I won't get through section 2 today if we keep chatting about video games. This bit's tricky because they have lots of little pieces like this, and the trick is, this isn't the same size, but some of them are like the opposite. Like, some of them have bumps go down, some of them have bumps go in. And I keep finding the ones that aren't the ones I need. There we go. Here's the one. Gotta find another. I'm just thinking about old games now. I think my favorite King's Quest was probably 6. Just had a really, like, perfected the art style, I think, and really nicely done. And had I don't even remember the story anymore, but my memory of it was that it was pretty good, and it's a pretty elaborate game. That's definitely one I wouldn't mind playing again on stream. Yeah, 5 was really good too. 6 had one of the coolest worlds, but I like 5 for King Graham just being a dad venturer and for Cedric the Owl being ridiculous. Yes, for sure. That is a interesting little angle piece. Now I just need to find one that's the opposite of that. There we go. Okay. Just making those little parts. Fill in that gap. Okay, now we're working on some seats here. I think that was it. Need 8 of those. Still need a couple more seat bits. Whoop. These are interesting bits. Trying to get this to focus. There we go. Almost. Kind of like an arm. Okay. Just keep spotting fun little pieces here. Little dashboard gauge and a logo. I think that's probably the middle of the steering wheel. I'm glad those aren't stickers I have to put on. Not sure what this is. Okay. How does this go in? Okay. Got us a seat bottom. Oh, interesting. The seat is white at the top. There's our seat back. Get these clips here that will clip into the back of the piece we just put in. Looking pretty good. Still want to know, there's a turquoise piece right in there. I want to know if that's turquoise for any reason. Like, did the actual car have a color like that in there? Now it's time to make some front seats. Make 2 of those. And I'm still curious if this will be explained or not, but it's hard to see. There's these little, like, antenna kind of things sticking up here that I feel like are probably meant to resemble levers to adjust the seats. But we didn't get an explanation of that, so we're just going to have to guess, I think. right. Got a interesting diagram coming up here, showing how to place the seats once they're done. I like this color. Once again, a fun, colorful piece you will never actually see. What is that even supposed to be? Where did you find that color in a car?
The green square, the very important car part green square that we all know and have.
Yeah, I feel like this came up occasionally in the Cantina set also. They just occasionally have a brick that is a bright color that seems out of place, and it just ends up getting completely buried, like it's just for structure. And I guess they just decided to I don't know if it's purely because why the heck not, or maybe to help you see what's going on in the instructions a little better. It's hard to know what the decision process is, but
I can see that being part of the thing, like to have a high contrast so that you can clearly see in the instructions that this size of piece goes in this position.
Right.
Especially if it's like there's just one or two bright green pieces in this sea of yellow and black.
Right.
There's no doubt that this is the piece that you're supposed to use in this step or whatever.
Right. Definitely makes them easy to find in the pile. Okay, yeah, now we're gonna completely cover that piece up. Oh, I see why. The seat positioning diagram is because the way they attach is like on this. They clip onto a rod that could, move around quite a bit. Oh, it's time for these little arms. It's actually for attaching the seat. Goodbye, green piece. Okay, that is the piece I want. That's a complete seat. And now we make one more. Just found this. It's like a door piece. Like this is absolutely originally a door, but I think it's going to be the frame for the rear window, which is interesting. So it'll end up going in sideways. Probably take a little break after I get these seats installed. I feel like I need to like set up reminders for myself to take breaks. Too easy to get engrossed in the Lego building. Saw the piece I'm looking for just a minute ago. I almost grabbed it because I knew I would need it. There it is. I was thinking about this last night. Like, I've been watching a lot of Twitch streams for like the past 2 years now.
Guess so.
And like literally every stream, everybody's like, you know, hydrate. Remember to hydrate. I'm gonna go hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate. I never do it. I think about hydrating a lot. I don't actually do it very often. Okay, so we got these grabby arms. And then we got these rods we installed here earlier. Looks like those are supposed to go all the way in as far as they go. And I'm just going to pop some seats onto there. It's the thought that counts. I'm not sure that's true in this case, but...
You have your water bottle there.
Sure.
It's presumably got water in it.
Yeah. So now's where that diagram becomes important. Basically, I want to make sure your seats, like, they can move sideways a decent amount here. I'm not, like, they show these blue lines like as kind of a guideline, right? But they don't really line up with anything else. So I'm just trying to figure out where exactly they ought to go. I feel like mostly they just want to point out that you don't want them sticking out too far. I assume that would be a problem in some later step. I think that's pretty good. That's fun. Look at that. The seats flip forward so you can get in the back seat. I love it. And we got our... It's a little hard to get to, but there's an emergency brake down here. Gear shift also moves. It's actually a fun little ball joint, so you can, from when you got to pick up go on. Exactly. Okay, so now I'm going to hydrate, I'm going to stretch, I'm going to use the bathroom, might have a quick little snack also. We'll see. And then we will come back and assemble some other parts of the car. Basically, we're going to start building up the front a little more. Okay, be right back. Hello again. I've hydrated, stretched. I had a Kaleido, which is a Kroger fake Oreo.
Just call them cookies.
Oh, I'm explaining what it is.
I know.
My assessment of the Kaleido is that it's not a bad cookie. It's a little bit of a bad Oreo. That's my assessment of it.
We have JoJo's, which are better, but we have to finish the open package of cookies first.
Yeah, we finally went back to Trader Joe's. Haven't been there in a while. Got some JoJo's, which are a very good Oreo alternative. I think I like them better than Oreos. It's been a while since I've compared, but I recall finding them superior.
Silver's coming in with the hot Oreo takes.
Oreos are already bad cookies, so this checks out. Yeah, I enjoy an Oreo. Well, I enjoy the concept of an Oreo. I definitely don't have anything. Don't have any particular attachment to the brand name or anything. But JoJo's are real good. I personally like the vanilla ones myself, but Holly's more of a fan of the chocolate ones.
Honestly, if you'd said something when we were at the store, I would have got one of each, but I completely forgot that you liked the vanilla ones.
We'll go back. Presumably it won't be 2 years before we go back to Trader Joe's again.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, I'm not a huge fan of chocolates that take that into account. Mint Oreos are okay, though. Interesting. I honestly don't know if I've ever had a mint one. What else? Oh, I was gonna... Since we were talking about old games... View to show off this thing. If you've never heard of LaCie, this is a company that... I think this probably originally had a hard drive in it. We bought a hard drive and it came with a padded carrying case because I guess that was a thing at some point. Anyways, I was looking for cables the other day, and I had this bag in my my bin full of cables, and the bag is full of old floppy disks, and there's also a zip disk in here. It's got I used to be in a band called Liquid Plumber, and one of our CDs was called The Dangerous Mike Walsh, and being the person I am, I of course made a CD-ROM component to the CD. So like you could stick it in your Mac or Windows computer, and it had a little interactive thing. Like there were like different screens for each of our songs that had like lyrics and like a themed photo presentation. There was a dress-up game based on the superhero theme of the album art and title. And this is just miscellaneous.
Was Mike Walsh in the band, or did you just have him be the mascot?
Mike Walsh was not in the band. He was a friend of the band who we decided to name the album after him for some reason. This was the most exciting find. These discs. I made this game in HyperCard, which Myst was originally made in HyperCard with lots of modifications. And it's this old software for Mac computers that you could use to... it was, in a lot of ways, I think, sort of a precursor to Flash. You know, a simple way for non-programmers to make interactive things without a lot of programming knowledge. So anyways, I made this game that was based on some weird joke I no longer remember that came out of French class. And it was a game where you trap beavers. in cages. You could also, there was dynamite you could use to blow up the beavers. I think the beavers were kind of attacking you, and it was a combination of like, if you're real desperate, you could use the dynamite to get you out of a jam, but preferably you wanted to trap them.
Did you say this was for French class?
No, the concept of the game had some weird origin in French class, but like the game itself was just a thing I made for fun, and I love that it is partially on an old Microsoft disk. What is this even? Microsoft File. I don't remember what that program is for.
Files, I would assume.
We also got Dark Castle 3 in here. I'm going to confess that a number of the games I played as a kid were probably not obtained legally. A lot of them were shareware, like, here's an old clip art disc. More clip art. Oh, here we go. This company called EduCorp ran this business where you could get this catalog, and it lists all the software they had, which was all like shareware and donationware and stuff. And then you could pick out what you wanted and send them some money. I don't remember how much it cost, but then they'd, send you a disc with the stuff on it. And, I'm sure if you had like a internet connection or whatever, you could download this from a BBS for free or something. But it was kind of a cool service that they did this. We got a lot of fonts here. Anyways, I thought it was just a fun little bag of stuff here. I'm trying to see if we got any more fun games here. I do not remember this game, Mac Attack. And this has a note that is a single-sided floppy disk that must be started by itself, and it has its own operating system on the disk.
Oh.
I mean, a lot of games were like that back then.
What does that mean for a disc to be single-sided?
Oh, well...
Like, I kind of remember the bigger floppies.
I mean,
being able to
as far
were
as
those?
as far as I understand, like it's literally like that's the disc itself in there. It's a round disc, and as far as I understand, a double-sided disc actually has data on both physical sides.
Mm-hmm. But like you
whereas older discs were single-sided and only had data on one side.
I see. But I mean, would you flip the disc around, or
no? You had a drive that could read a double-sided disc.
I see.
It's really hard to read because it was written in pencil, and also you're looking at it upside down, but this seems to say space sector. I kind of feel like that might have been another... When I was a kid, I made a lot of games and never finished them because that's hard work. This says World Builder, which was another... It was a system for making games that I kind of feel like might have been based on HyperCard, but I can't remember for sure. But anyways, World Builder has been scribbled out. At one point it had Mac System 6 on it, one of two, and then I guess it has Pipe Dream on it now, which I want to say the more common name of that game is Pipe Mania. Does that ring a bell to you at all, Holly?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, man. Old Mac Write Mac Paint disc that's seen some stuff. A little bit gross, to be honest. A lot of freehand. Freehand was There used to be Illustrator and Freehand, the two competing vector drawing programs. I was a Freehand fan, and then basically Adobe bought Freehand and killed it off someday, and that was a very sad day for me. And I've never really recovered from it, if I'm being honest. Okay. Most of these are like just old school projects, stuff I made for fun. But sometime I'm gonna. I think I might already have a copy of these because I'm a little worried about the condition of these discs. But I might have them on a hard drive somewhere as well. Anyways, one of these days I'm gonna see if I can resurrect Beaver Pelt Man and get it to run in an old emulator or something. I'm hoping I can make that happen. Okay, I guess we can do some Legos. Honestly, spent far too much of my life thinking about making video games. A little bit ridiculous. The closest I got to actually making a video game, got hired to make a demo. With a couple of friends of mine, we managed to make a complete demo of a game. This guy that hired us wanted to do a kids game that would teach kids how to write, cursive specifically. And he had hired people to work on the technical side of that, the handwriting recognition type of stuff and all that, and he hired us to do the fun bits basically. So we created all these characters and did a bunch of animation, and honestly can't remember if I did it in Macromedia Director or Flash or possibly both. Actually did some 3D stuff too. I can't remember what program I used for that. Anyways, we did I wrote and recorded songs. I got friends to record dialogue. It was a pretty elaborate production. So we did an animated intro, and we had a couple of scenes with a static backdrop where you could click around and interact with things. So that was a fun little project. Spent, I don't know, maybe a year on that. It wasn't the only thing we were doing at the time. But that is the closest I've gotten to making a real game, at least.
Why didn't the actual game get made? Why only a demo? Project got canceled?
I don't really know. I think mainly the demo was created to try to get funding, and it just kind of never went anywhere. Never got the funding to make it a full game. Either that, or maybe hired someone else. Who knows? I'm making, okay, yes. I'm making 2 of these, which is correct. I didn't do it right though. I think they need to be opposite. Anyways, I still think about making games. I've got a vague idea in my head. For a while, Holly and I would occasionally talk about making a game together. That never went anywhere. I spend a lot of time thinking of ideas and not doing anything with them. Games are just a lot of work, more than anything. And I think a lot of my problem is one, a lot of the ideas I have are very vague, and I lack the time and skill to turn them into something more concrete. And then also, I generally like to come up with ideas that are way too complex for 1 or 2 people to actually turn into something. I'm just trying to figure out what we're building here. This might be a little piece that like the headlights attached to, I think. Seems plausible. There it is. This should be an easy piece to find. probably looking right at it. Why don't I see it? Is it not here? I'm looking for another one of these round pieces. Distinctive shape from all angles. It's right there. It was standing on end. Oh, okay. This looks like the dashboard. A little drawing of it there. Kind of hard to see what's going on, but there's a sticker in the center that's got the little dashboard bits on it. Gauge, that's the word I was looking for. It's got a gauge on it. Maybe some logos and bits. Okay, we don't want my hair inside the Legos. That's just...
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Break out a new hair accessory. Now I'm wondering, have they made Lego hair accessories?
I know that they have like bracelet kits.
Right.
I guess I don't see why they couldn't also do hair clips.
Right.
In the same way.
green. He's going to be visible, I wonder. They look more like they're intentionally chosen than the bright green we had before. But I think they're going to get buried anyway. Fun little tiny half-round pieces. Line up a bunch of those.
Which part did you say you're assembling right now?
The dashboard. Oh.
What's wrong?
Missed a whole step.
How could you? Okay. Just throw my whole computer on the floor, why not?
Probably not the best idea.
It's fine, it lands on the pillow.
Okay. Okay, so now we're turning this whole thing upside down. And it's time for our first sticker. I grabbed this piece, which looks almost like the right piece, but as I mentioned earlier, there's pieces like this that, you know, have the holes to go on pegs, and then there's pieces that are almost the same that are attached the opposite way. And it would have been a little bit of a bummer if I put the sticker on the wrong one. Okay, sticker time. These are sticker sheets. Oh, okay. I thought this was a gauge in the middle. There's actually, there's like a vent here, and then there's the ignition with the key hanging out, and then a couple buttons or knobs. Hard to tell.
I found an Etsy listing for a Lego barrette that I'm going to now put in chat.
Nice.
Because it is, I think, the more interesting of the this type of thing. Because there's lots of, like, you know, little girl barrettes that just have Lego bricks on them. This is actually a base plate.
Oh, that's
so that
amazing.
you can build your own custom Lego hairpiece. They have, as an example, a pirate ship.
Yeah, this little pirate ship hairpiece is fantastic. I love it. Got 2 minifigs, pirate flag. Okay, let's get this.
I have very fine hair, and I can just tell that if I tried to wear this, it would just be really heavy and pull and hurt my head a lot.
Yeah.
But I appreciate knowing that it exists.
Do that.
The seller also has underwear with Lego
Okay.
on it.
Huh. That's... sounds uncomfortable?
Yeah. The description is kind of vague, and there's just 2 pictures. One flat on the ground and one worn, but the lighting's not the best. It's just, I'm not at all clear on what you're supposed to be doing with this. I can't help but feel like there's some sort of secret knowledge that is not being mentioned in this thing. Anyway, this particular seller's just got all kinds of wearable Lego stuff.
I mean, sounds like.
I like this one that's a bodice for like your Ren Fair corset, and then you can like attach, you know, Lego stuff to it.
Sure. Oh, this must be where the steering wheel goes. Makes sense, I think. Okay, time to attach this. is right. Up next, steering wheel. There's your steering wheel. We put a little Fiat logo on there. A little claw to attach it. Okay. I think we probably have a spare Fiat badge and gauge here. Lots of tiny pieces. The drawing of this gauge, like there's in the drawing there's a light bar across the bottom that is not actually there on the piece. I assume they just adjusted the design at some point. Not anything else that's similar. Oh, okay. So this has, these pieces have holes, and then this claw piece. And all the way through there. Steering wheel. And Fiat badge. Just trying to figure out the orientation here. Okay. So the gauge goes at the top. This clip attached here. Doesn't actually steer, but can turn it. And also knock it off. Also enjoy that it's adjustable up and down. Okay, what do we got next? Is this a door? Should adjust my frog sticker. I just like to know what I'm building here, you know? Yeah, it's gonna be a door. That's what it looks like by itself. Heck, it's 5 o'clock already.
Yep.
How you doing over there?
I'm alright. Slightly better than sitting on the floor. But still more upright than I would prefer.
Holly has been... We talked about this last stream. I think we will eventually have a day bed back here that we're at least hoping will be comfortable to sit on during streams. I put that piece on backwards. But it's not going to get here till... It was originally supposed to be September. Yeah. Now it's got pushed back to November.
If I just ordered it in June when I decided that was the one I wanted, it would have been in stock and we would have it already.
But we put it off because the room was a mess and there was lots of cleaning to do. There's still lots of cleaning to do.
I was hoping for a sale or something too.
Yeah, that too.
That never happened.
But we did give them a phone number or email address.
It was your email address.
Yeah.
That we sacrificed.
Email address sacrificed for 10% off. Which isn't too bad, but more would have been nice.
I still don't know what kind of I don't know, theme, I guess, or vibe or whatever that I want for the bedding.
Right.
And it feels silly to spend a lot of time thinking about that before we actually have the bed. I want to repaint this room, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I want it to be repainted.
Yeah, I want the bed. I want the room to
paint
have
stream.
been. I want the room to have been repainted.
I don't know how entertaining a paint stream would be, but it would certainly be funny as a goof.
It's a small room is the thing, so I'm not really sure where we could even put the camera.
Sure.
We would have to like move the camera every time we finish a wall and start on the next one.
Okay, I'll put 3 of these on here.
This was maybe the first room that we painted when we moved in here? Because the trim is terrible. And I feel like by the time we finished with the other rooms, maybe we got better at it.
Yeah, I think it was the first room we did. We kind of intentionally chose I think we were going for like a color that's good for like a, you know, chill hangout room. Like, you know, this is mostly a guest room, or at least it was originally. Now it's our streaming room, I guess, but it's also allegedly a guest room. But, you know, we picked a darker color. Most of our walls are like a lighter gray, and this is kind of like it's got a purpley tint to it.
The purple doesn't really come through though.
Yeah, but it's much darker.
It's definitely the darkest of all of the colors that we picked, because it's the side of the house that this room is on. The sun comes up on that side. So right. my thinking was, like, if a person is trying to sleep in here and then the sun is streaming in through the window, then we'll have curtains that don't exist yet. And then the room will be nice and dark, and then they won't be woken up super early by the sun. That was my logic. I also, like, I want the room to be painted, but I don't really know what color I would pick now.
We also, like, there's white trim, and like the edges between the dark paint and the white trim are a mess. They're very poorly done. There's lots of like imperfections in the walls. We did not spend a lot of time sanding down and patching up, and like the paint's a little too glossy and just highlights all those imperfections extremely well. So multiple mistakes were made.
Yeah.
And now we're spending a lot of time here, so we got to look at it all the time. Oh, heck. Missed a piece again. The little red outlines showing you the pieces you're attaching in this step are very helpful, but only if you look at them. Okay. Time for the roundy bits at the top of the door. bunch of little clips here. I don't know if those are gonna serve a functional purpose or what. Got a lever to roll the window down, a handle to open the door, and some leather trim, I assume. Oh, I should have known. That's the door handle on the outside is what that little piece is.
I seem to have slightly scratched myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have a minorly bleeding thumb wound. I have absolutely no idea on what. So now we're making the top part of the door, and these bits will go in those little clips to attach it. Oh, I see. Patched up? Yep. I think it's just a light scratch, but I mostly don't want to bleed on anything.
It's reasonable. Now, together. Goes there. Here. Oop. Starting to look like a car. Okay, I think I'm going to take another quick break and then we'll come back and make another door. We'll be right back. Hydrate. We're talking about Galactic Snackin Grogu. We got we got our flu shots at Target the other day. Well, CVS in Target. And they give you a $5 coupon with your flu shot. And the coupon had an extremely long list of exceptions. And one that stood out was Galactic Snackin Grogu. And we've been wondering what that is, and finally Holly remembered to look it up. So please explain what Galactic Snackin Grogu is.
First of all, Galactic Snackin Grogu is not currently available for sale, I believe.
Oh no, not out yet, or?
It will be out in October.
Ah, okay.
Which is in keeping with my previous understanding that the holiday reset for any toy retailer happens at the beginning of October. So, like, if you ever go to a toy store, like a Target toy section or whatever, and you're like, gee, there's a lot of empty spaces and the shelves seem to be generally in disarray, that's because they're preparing for their holiday reset and probably they either don't have the products yet, or they're not allowed to put them out yet, and they're going to, like, completely rearrange and refresh and redecorate the shelves and whatnot. So, anyway, Galactic Snackin Grogu is, I believe, an approximately $90 animatronic toy that has, as accessories, the blue cookie, a cup of soup that has tentacles sticking out of it. I don't recall there being tentacles in the soup.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like it's probably accurate, though.
Okay.
I don't think they were, like, super obviously hanging out or anything.
There's also a spoon, so like baby Grogu can hold his own cookie or his own bowl of soup, but he also has a spoon, so you can spoon feed the baby.
Ah, okay.
Also has his favorite little round ball thing from the ship.
Of course.
He makes Force-like sounds, according to the closed captioning on the promo video that I watched on the Target website. What else? I feel like there's the cookie, the soup, the spoon, and the ball. I feel like there was a fifth accessory, but I can't think of what. But basically it makes cute baby noises and the mouth moves when you stick a cookie or your finger inside of it, and he makes yummy noises.
So here's the real question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the real question with any Grogu toy. Is it actually cute?
I mean, I don't know.
I feel like most of them are not that cute.
I guess if that's how you feel about the rest of them, then this one is probably not going to be any cuter.
Interesting. Says, so is this going to be like those Cabbage Patch Kids that ate children's hair? I don't think I remember that one.
I don't think that it actually, like, pulls the food into its mouth. It just, like, flaps open and closed while it makes yummy noises.
Okay.
I was not given the impression from the video I watched that it ingests the food.
That's good. Probably for the best.
I had a Cookie Monster toy when I was in high school, because that was the kind of teenager that I was.
Mm-hmm.
I bought children's toys for myself to have.
I bought some Little Mermaid sheets in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
I swear I've told you that before.
Well, I didn't retain the memory. I had Winnie the Pooh sheets in high school.
Nice.
Anyway, the Cookie Monster had a little plastic cookie with a fake bite taken out of it, and when you push the cookie into his mouth, he would open and close his mouth, and his little arms would spin around, and he'd go, I love cookie. Against all odds, despite the fact that this thing's batteries are over 20 years old, it still works.
Amazing.
I'm eating popcorn, so if you hear any munchy noises, that's my fault.
Sorry about the snacking sounds.
Not Galactic Snackin.
Unfortunately. Just regular snacking.
Earthly snacking.
We're just making another door. Same as the last one, just opposite way around. Hope so anyway. If it's not opposite way around, I might have messed up. Running out of pieces here. This is... Come back. This is all that's left in section 2.
Now I'm reading contemporary news articles about those Cabbage Patch dolls. I'm kind of astounded, like, they had plastic, like, French fries and snack foods.
Okay.
That you were supposed to feed.
Right.
But it, like, goes into the doll? None of these articles that I found explain the intended function of the toy. Just that multiple incidents of children getting their fingers or hair stuck in the mechanism and then the mechanism not stopping.
Mm-hmm. Jeez.
I'm just trying to, like, was there a back end of the doll that the plastic French fry came out of after you fed it? Like...
Huh. Val says the food would pass through the doll and get stored in a backpack they were wearing.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to make sense of, like, was there any kind of safety testing in the development of this product?
Yeah, it sounds like an idea that they should have gave up on that real early on in the process.
Right.
Oh, there it is.
Mattel Chief Executive Jill Barad, I'm not sure how you say that name, said tests conducted by her company and by the Consumer Product Safety Commission did not identify the doll as posing a serious safety hazard. Tell me about the test. What was the test comprised of? Anyway, they ended up with a voluntary recall.
Okay. Just making sure things are lined up the way they're supposed to be. It's like this doesn't line up back here. And it comes out a little further up here, but it looks like that's how it's supposed to be. And the other one's the same way. Pretty good. Now we get to find out how this door frame gets used. I'm still assuming it's the rear window. Find out soon. Looks like we got a very long sticker to apply, so very excited about that. I'm not excited. Okay, this is basically telling me I need almost all the pieces we have left, so I'm not going to bother to pick them out. Making sure I got this door frame the right way around, looks like. It's got these little, very hard to see, but there's little holes where the door slash glass pops into place. I guess it's really more of a window frame because it doesn't swing open. Anyways, got these little tiny bits that stick out. Just pop those into the holes there. Now it's sticker time. Got a sticker that goes all along that, which means I gotta get it real straight. Not a fan of this kind of sticker in particular. Off to a great start. need to. Pretty happy with that. Thank you, fellas. Now, you attach it. Sounds right. It does go in the back here. And I've got these bits here that these little clips pop onto. At least I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing. It doesn't really show you. There's a rubber hose here that's kind of in the way. There we go. I think I have it a little better situated now. That's pretty good. Oh.
What's up?
Hmm.
Did you miss a step?
I have some concerns. I have some concerns because all these little pieces, it's normal for them to give you extras of those.
Mm-hmm.
These bigger pieces, I've never had extras of big pieces like this. So I kind of think I might have missed something. I can't imagine where. But we're at the end of the section, so I'm just gonna flip back and see. I'm just gonna scan for anywhere pieces like that were used. Honestly don't know if I remember like these. I remember using these types of pieces in yellow, but I don't remember using black ones anywhere in there. Fairly unique pieces, so it just doesn't seem like something I would have missed, which is even more confusing. Should move my frog sticker ahead. Well, the good news is easy to fix. They're just two pieces that go on the back of the seats. And when I was doing the second seat, I guess I was like, all right, this looks done. Let's put it on. Things came apart a little more than I meant to, but that's okay. All right. Problem solved. Door back on. these look like correct extra pieces. There's our tray. Ollie's letting me borrow her embroidery thread tray because I haven't found an ideal spare Lego part tray yet.
I took it upon myself to start browsing the Container Store and
for me, you mean?
Huh?
For me?
For you, yeah.
Okay.
And marking some possible candidates.
Nice.
Naturally, the one that I think will work out the best is not available for shipping and not in stock at our store. But I also have only the vaguest memory of what your criteria was.
Right.
So.
I mean, I've got, these are the pieces I have for this set so far. Generally, the extra pieces are real small like this. So the compartments don't need to be very big, but then there's also, I got a bunch of these separators I need to find somewhere to put. And then trying to figure out where's... These are all my spare bits from the cantina, so, you know, there's a lot of them, but they don't take up much space. So I want something that's fairly shallow and not nearly this big overall, but also it needs spots that are a little longer for these. We'll figure something out. I think mostly I've just been too picky about it. So there's our little car so far. Looking pretty good.
Mostly car shaped.
It's most of a car right there. And next week, we'll probably finish it, I think. It seems like it'll take about the same amount of time as this week and last week, so I think we can manage that. Got some more bright green bits here. I'm excited about these wheels. Probably don't get the wheels on until last. We got some kind of hard to see, but there's like a curved window piece here. Got the shiny wheel covers. Those are fun. And a whole lot more stickers to go. Though I think, like I was saying, I think they're giving you a choice of license plate numbers here. So, a bunch of these we won't actually use. Painting's gonna be a tricky one, I think. And then we got a fabric sunroof. That'll be fun. So we will continue that next week. Once again at 3 o'clock-ish on Saturday. Little frog's going to keep our place for us. No, I put that in the wrong spot, actually. That's what we'll be when we're done next week. Yeah. I think there's got a spare tire in the, under the hood. It's fine. Next week, I think we'll have lots of fun little details to do. So, let's see who we can raid. Oh! Importantly, Thanks for hanging out, fellas. Appreciate you being here. So once again, Tuesday, Holly will be streaming Monday. I assume you're going to do Genshin again on Monday?
Yeah.
Holly's been streaming Genshin Impact at 8:30?
8:30 Monday night.
8:30 on
3
Monday.
p.m. Thursday.
Yeah. So I usually hang out for the Genshin streams as long as I don't have like urgent work to do, which could happen. But good stream regardless. And then Tuesday, September 14th, 9 p.m., Midnight Phantasmagoria. Very excited about that. Let's not knock my iPad onto the ground. Who can we write? Huh. I just noticed Little Simsy is doing some sort of easy bake oven stream.
Oh, dang.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think she's doing some kind of a fundraiser.
Family friendly.
Little Simsy is always family friendly.
Yeah.
Unless it's Little Simsy After Dark.
True. I'm a little tempted to do that just to
see.
just because it looks like a fun stream. I usually try to raid someone not quite so hugely popular already. Yeah, let's do that just for fun. And then also I want to once again give a little shout out to OK Retro Zone, who I believe will be on later this evening at 8:30. They weren't sure last night what they were going to do, but it's always a fun little crafting stream that is part of what inspired me to start doing these Lego streams. So, recommended. And then their Sunday Final Fantasy streams with Edgar Allan Poe have been some of my favorites lately. So go check that out later, and let's head on over to Lil Simsy. If I can find the right button here. There we go. So once again, thanks y'all for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. Always enjoy these nice chill Saturday streams. And it's good to hang out with you. Hope you have a good one.